Pecha Kucha 89 Predator Week. Now, I can't remember if this was my plan from the start, but yeah, maybe it was. I just drew a lot of Predators this week. I'm a massive fan of not the films per se. I love the first one, like I love the first RoboCop, but like the intellectual property. Predators are just cool as fuck. But before I forget, like I forgot last week, I do have I've gone back to my blog and I'm doing a new blog post every Monday. This Monday I spoke about the banner that I made and broke down who the characters are in it. And I'm not entirely sure why Solid Snake and Liquid Ocelot are in there, except I like them and I should draw them more. So I was just wanting to get better at drawing predators. Just kind of Googled searched them, got some images, tried to draw some from memory, some from reference. Uh, Experimenting with brushes a little bit. In the bottom there, you've got impact and montage with the predator that shows up at the end of Holy Crapola. Um, I kind of tripped myself up with this kind of pose that I was doing because I was trying to draw it in values, not line, and then I ended up drawing it in a line because I'm trying to draw it in blocks, but I can't define the blocks and make the shapes because I'm like tripping myself up in my head psychologically. So I end up just thinking, you know what, I'm just going to do the whole thing one layer, airbrush it. But then, you know, airbrushing's quite labor intensive for me because it's not like I know what I'm doing. So, you know, like most things, I walk away. I think I was looking at how to actually reference his armor, and I thought, yeah, maybe I just won't. After all that kind of heavy value stuff, I thought let's just do some kind of really super basic shape color thing where we just try and work in color and not worry about details. It's funny because I remember drawing this like flipped horizontally, but you know that's neither here nor there. Predator in the foreground, someone watching through the bushes, and dudes hanging from from their feet, very dead. The shape of the predator's head I still struggle with. I know it's like basically a guy in a mask, but the forehead is very big, but it's not this shape. It's much more vertically aligned. And I've just like decided I should start drawing predators from different angles to try and cope with that fact. And then, you know, I really wanted to play with like light and dark as well. You know, the way the mandibles and the mouth work and how it connects to the eye sockets and stuff. I understand it because I'm looking at so much reference, but that still doesn't mean I nail it when I do it. The forehead really trips me up, but you know, we'll figure it out, right? So with this one, I kind of worked really close in on like the pencil lines, and I think it gave me quite a kind of strong base to kind of experiment with color and then apply lighting. And you know, the final one's not final because nothing I do ever is, but you know, I think there's a lot to be said for adding ambient lighting and stuff. So at the end of the week, I did what I should have done at the start of the week and was actually like worked directly looking at photo reference. I was using the Paint and Apply watercolor brush in Manga Studio, which is an interesting mix between kind of like what airbrushing allows for and a more typical brush. I like it, and I'll use it more because it's a good place to be. And I put this together using the same brush, just Optimus Prime threatening Rodimus Prime. It's fun kind of building images up like this because it's like actually painting. It's cool, and you know that previous picture in this, I'm just switching colors as I work instead of adding color after the fact. So this is the work of Melissa Hill, a person who went to the same university as me. She was in the year above me. We met up and we were talking about some stuff. She's m-hill on Instagram if you want to check out her stuff. She does a lot of quite graphic designy, patterny stuff. You know, more akin to something like textile design than me with illustrative portraiture or whatever. We had a good catch up, spoke for a few hours, decided we were going to collaborate. So I've kind of spent the second half of Predator Week drawing predators and figuring out, you know, what I can do that kind of we can both get something out of. And this idea of like a repeating pattern that's like constructed of some kind of illustration. And it's you know, I don't know if it's going in a gallery space, but this is the kind of scale I'm imagining. Some hipster staring at it, of course, in his little waist jacket. Can't see his beard from that angle. And you know, I just thought of the Smiley Show. You know, Smiley and Vegeta just standing next to each other, saying kind of nondescript things. You know, I'm Smiley, I'm Vegeta, I'm Smiley. You're an idiot. You're Vegeta. you're still an idiot. And it's this idea, it's like this checkerboard of random statements that kind of make up conversations and jokes and stuff. And it's like, so it's like you're looking at a pattern, but you can still kind of read it. And then I thought, yeah, you don't want to stick Vegeta in a gallery. I don't know that. So what about cats and dogs? I just love this idea. It's not that different. The dog's stupid and the cat's snarky. And you know, the bottom right there, I've got that woof, which is the kind of thing you'd see from the other side of the room, like the one panel that's clearly different from the rest. And as I'm sending these kind of ideas to Melissa through WeTransfer, they've got a blog apparently, and they were talking about copyright. So I thought, let's have a look at this, because it never hurts to make sure I know what I know about copyright. And it turns out I do have a lot of very strong ground information. You never really know what's going to happen until you find yourself in court, and then by then it's too late, because the best lawyers win. So this is kind of my tightening up of the original cat dog artwork, and it's kind of turning into this Delft tile thing, which is like probably Dutch. It's like Chinaware, that kind of thing. Everything's got a blue tint because it's typically painted in blue on like Chinaware. And these are like some of the test things Melissa sent back to me. So it looks like we're going to end up doing this kind of kitchen tile wall thing going on that's like kind of, you know, it's looking quite nice. So I'm going to render up some full body animals saying silly things, and we'll see where that goes. So plan for next week. I said I'd blog every Monday, so tomorrow means I'm blogging. More cat dog Melissa team up. That's obviously a thing, because we've got a good pace going. This picture I did of Transformers has me thinking maybe next week is Transformers week. I'm not committed to that yet, but I'm leaning heavily towards it. And yeah, some of the images this week were a bit shonky in terms of pixelization, because I haven't resolved the issue where the Cintiq means that every time I take a screenshot, I'm taking a screenshot of both screens, even when the Cintiq is off, which is hilarious. I'm sure it's, you know, it's like 3 Google searches away from an answer, so we'll see what we can do about that, get the picture, the pixelization down, and then I can get back to trying to improve the quality of the artwork per se. So that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 89, and I will see you next time.